Welcome back to Media Mesh, where I give you my unapologetic opinion on everything from music, movies, news, reality TV, and so much more as we go down a rabbit hole. Now, usually I have a whole song and dance before my videos, but I've been taking too much time off. So I said, you know what, let me just jump right into it. And, for those who support the channel, you will, and you will appreciate what needs to be said here. So we're going to get into this because this is a major thing that's going on right now. Of course, Trump is the president elect. He has been chosen by the people, and he's basically going to be the next president unless they unalive his ass before January. Now, anything can happen. But we're going to hear from some of the black women and their positions when it comes to Trump and how they're just like really coming hard at the black man for having an opinion and choosing what he decides which is best for him. It's kind of ironic, right? When everyone has the freedom to vote. Anyone who doesn't have a criminal record, I guess, or who hasn't been incarcerated recently, you have a choice. So that means that you are able to make an intelligent decision for yourself. But there are some women who would like to control even that. Control your vote and tell you what you need to be doing with your opinion. We're going to get into this, and then we're going to address these women. But first and foremost, as a black man, the question I have for a lot of these women who supported Kamala Trump, who did not, what am I talking about? Kamala Harris, well, I guess she has a white husband, but that's beside the point. But why are you really supporting her? Is it because you think she's black? Because the truth is, we know that only when it's convenient does she subscribe to being black. Other than that, she was the first Indian vice president. But now, since she brings out, Beyonce, Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, all these other ratchet females to relate to some of y'all with small minds, then she becomes black. What is her actual platform about? What type of changes does she actually suggest for the American people that will actually benefit everyone outside of allowing our kids to go to school and being confused at an earlier age as to what gender they are? Right? I mean, it's a time and place for every conversation. If you're under 18, there's not many things you can do. But under her administration, I guess if you felt like you wanted to be a female, you could do that. And your parents would have no control over that. Now, as a parent, I think that's absolutely foolishness. What's happening here is that you have this liberal Democratic Party as basically usurping the authority of the parent in the home. If your daughter gets pregnant and she decides that she no longer wants to keep it, under this administration, that'll be totally fine. Completely undermining whatever values, whatever it is that you have set forth in your household. But keep in mind, these people have your children 8 hours a day. So the 3-4 hours you have before they go to bed, you have to try to refute the lies and the foolishness that they have pushed upon your children. Be clear, I'm not for Donald Trump either. But in the short term, I must say, what he proposes sounds a hell of a lot better than what Kamala was saying. And if we look at the evidence of what her predecessor has done, that's no America I want to be part of. So I think we need to respect the black men who have an opinion and a right to vote however they choose. It is not your place to second guess or make an opinion or comment about what somebody else decides to do with their vote. You've made your decision. No one checked you on that. Clearly she lost, but you had your choice. You don't want nobody coming to disrupt your mode of thinking, even though it's errored. But that's fine. But let's get into what these women got to say. Let's get into it.
black men who took their narrow head asses in them polls and voted for Trump. When the police got your ass in the motherfucking chokehold, don't you come calling black women. Don't you come calling us to come march for your ass. I'm not making no BLM songs. None of that. I'm not resharing nothing. It's an article, not resharing it. I don't even care if I know you. I'm not resharing it. You don't deserve our help. Like, seriously. I even see one of them say, y'all really thought we was gonna let a bitch run this country? I know, right? Sounds a little harsh, right? Came from one of your little black men. Them same ones that's always crying, talking about police always locking us up for dumb shit, but they don't ever get the white people, and they don't ever do this, and they don't ever do that. And guess what, baby? They're gonna be locking y'all ass up more now. And guess what? For the dumbest shit. Oh, and guess what? You're not gonna be getting any help. When you a
So, first and foremost, only people who commit crimes are worried about getting stopped, right? Now, granted, of course, there are some corrupt police officers, but then again, if you go to take a scroll through YouTube and you check out police activity, which is a YouTube channel here, you'll notice that a lot of the times, I would have to venture to say, maybe a majority of the time, people that's getting caught up in these situations are doing things they should not be doing. So an average person like myself who minds his business, legally makes transactions, does not have a criminal record, is not committing crimes, we don't have to worry about that. But when you are doing less than what's expected of you as a man or a woman in this country, which actually has laws, which same time, I guess if you don't like those laws, you could go elsewhere. But if you choose to stay in this country, you must come one way or the other to understand there's rules and there's guidelines and there's provisions put in place that you need to adhere to. And I don't recall the last female that was out there on the picket lines for a black man. Most women not even respecting a black man in their house, much less in a situation like this. So I would venture to say that what she's trying to say, as far as, coming to the defense of the black man and locking you up for nothing, is really never nothing. You generally have done something. If you are getting pulled over, if you are doing something, you're going to get caught for something. It's never just nothing, right? I don't have that experience. I've been black all my life. And the times when I was pulled over, I knew how to maintain good character, even if I was upset, if it was some foolishness. But the truth is, I knew nothing could stick anyway because I'm not a criminal. I'm not doing nothing wrong. So I can address them as I would address anybody else because I'm about my business. You understand? Let's go to the next woman.
black woman surrounded by black men, and they say all this shit like, oh, he's not that bad, and oh, he just hates everyone, bro. Like, it was my brother homeboy I was talking to the other day, a black man, and I found out that he's a Trump supporter. I'm like, he does not like you, and he was like, oh no, he just don't like everybody. What? So that's a good candidate for you? Someone who just fucking hates everybody? Like, what? And I'm fucking crying in my room this morning. My brother gonna come up in here and say, what's wrong with you? Like, he can't think of one possible reason why I would be upset right now, bro. These niggas are so fucking, they live on another planet. And it's because none of this shit affects men. That's why. Men don't give a fuck about nothing that don't directly affect them. If it does not directly affect men, they do not give a fuck. And motherfuckers hating women is the whole reason he got elected in the first place. The first time he got elected, he ran up against a woman. Second time, he ran up against a man, and it wasn't even a good fucking candidate, and he lost. He ran up against a woman again, and he won, because y'all just fucking hate women. That's all it is. We couldn't even get a white lady in office. Of course, they wouldn't go vote for no fucking black lady. And it's like people just, either people don't give a fuck, or they're genuinely not grasping how fucked this shit is. And to the black man.
So, from her estimation, she thinks that just because this was a woman, that was the reason why black men didn't vote for Kamala, which is completely false. A qualified woman, whether white or black, most certainly has a seat at the table. This cackling hen, this damn, I'm trying to keep it somewhat PG, but this laughing hyena of a candidate was not even serious. This was not even really, there was no way that you thought she could possibly win. When you look at her track record and what she did as a prosecutor, which is what you need to do. If you're going to disagree with what I'm saying right now, you need to actually take a look and see what she has done to black men while she was a prosecutor in San Francisco, and not only black men, but black women. You have to do your research. You can't just go off emotions, which is why this broad is over here crying and carrying on, because you just wanted to see a woman in office, but you don't actually know what she stands for. And the truth of the matter is, she don't like your ass either. Okay? Because she's one of the people who only becomes black when convenient. That's why she talks with this sister girl, and she adapts to whatever group she's talking to. If she's talking to Latinos, she's gonna put on the Latino accent. She's talking to black women, she's gonna pick up the ghetto ratchet female accent. And she's gonna invite Beyonce and Glorilla and all this other foolishness to her campaign to represent for her. But at the end of the day, how does she really feel about you, black men and black women? You don't know. But if you look at someone's record or what they have done in the past, that will give you all you need to know for the future. The bottom line is, what policies is this woman standing on? The liberal, and again, I'm not for Trump either, but I can respect some aspects of what he's doing, even though I believe that he's going to come out if he lives. That's the first thing. Remember, you heard it here first. If he survives, I believe, number one, he may be the very last president. I believe he's bold enough to come in here and kind of do away with the whole election process, period. That's the first thing. But I believe if he is allowed to remain in office for a time, he is going to change things in a positive way. If you haven't heard, he said that he's obviously going to get rid of these illegal immigrants, which I agree with. Because you ain't paying taxes, you shouldn't be reaping none of the benefits of those who do. He's going to send them back to where they go. And if they come back, he's going to put them in jail for 10 years. And if they unalive any Americans, they're going to get the death penalty. I can agree with that. Now, he's a businessman. This is all a show. But in the short term, I think Americans as a whole are going to benefit. Because if we keep it real, if we look back to his administration, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. There were some things that took place that ticked off certain black people. Of course, that situation in North Carolina where he was like, well, there's some good people, whatever, but I don't expect much from these folks. But as a general whole, do I think that she is qualified to be the president? Come on. No, come on. No. Because she says she would not take back basically anything that has happened so far under the Biden administration. So that means that by default, you are in agreement with the foolishness that has taken place, with all the billions of dollars that have been sent to Ukraine and Israel and all these other countries. But then you're going to turn around and offer $750 for the people of the hurricane victims in North Carolina? Come on. Think about it. See, this is all a big game. This is all a big game with players that, we're not in, you and I, whoever's listening to this, you're not in the club. Unfortunately, you're not part of the club, right? So this is just a situation where you have to try to do the best you can with what you have, and whatever policies they do push through in the interim before whatever takes place next. You just need to be happy that you can benefit from it. Don't get invested in either one of these people. Don't allow your emotions to rule you. You have to see it for what it is. It's bullshit. But if I'm going to be engaged in any level of bullshit, it's not going to be with Kamala Harris. I'm sorry. So, any of my viewers, if you feel away, tough. I appreciate you listening and watching up until this point. But if you feel away, you have more, um, you have the option to do what you need to do. But on Media Mesh, we keep it 1,000. And this is all foolishness. Neither one of these people give a damn about you. No matter how much you want to think they do, they don't. So until next time, peace and blessings.